time to relax or be satisfied. We need to focus on, things that we can do better to improve from our last performance. Regardless of the score, there are still things that we can learn from and improve from. And this is another one of those division games against a very good team that's going to take, the best preparation that we have throughout the week to get ready to play this game. We're very pleased that Levi Wallace is the SEC Defensive Player of the Week. You have the offense, defense, and special teams guys that we have. Updates on personnel. Deshaun Hand has just an MCL strain. He will be out probably and very doubtful for at least this game and maybe more. Trayvon Diggs has a foot injury, and he'll be, day to day, but also is very questionable for this game. Texas A&M is the strongest team that we've played to this point. If you look at them from a holistic standpoint, they're a very explosive offensive team. They run the ball very effectively. They got really good running backs. Christian Kirk is, maybe the most explosive player, returner, receiver, runner of anybody in our league. Defensively, they're tough to run against. They create a lot of negative plays. They've got good pass rushers. John Chavis always does a good job of playing very aggressive, physical, football. And because of Christian Kirk being a fantastic returner, these guys are very dangerous on special teams. So this is by far, I think the strongest team that we played to this point. All the way around, and certainly going to be a real challenge for us and a test for us in a division game on the road.
Okay, we'll start over here with John.
You touched on this in the opening statement, but how important is it to guard against, after 2 games like that, guard against overconfidence? And is that as much a team leader thing as it is a coach thing?
Well, I think it's an individual thing. It's a leader thing. It's a coach thing. It's everybody understanding the challenges that we have and how we want to move forward, and you can't look back. And we had 24 hours on the last game, and won't have any impact or effect on the next game, and we need to move on, and everybody's got to get psychologically and physically ready to execute and play good football, winning football in the next game.
Come back over on the right side with Chandler.
Calvin's obviously gotten a boatload of the receptions. Would you like to see somebody, I know you guys have spread it around a lot, would you like to see one guy kind of separate himself as that second option, or are you okay with the way Jalen spread the ball around?
No, I think that we want to utilize all the skilled players that we have, and I think that's the best way to use all your weapons. And I think that that's something that we want to continue to emphasize on offense, whether it's the running backs, the receivers, the quarterback, whoever it might be, that gives us an advantage to be able to make plays in a particular situation in a particular game. But I think all the skill guys have made progress and played well, and we have had a few drop balls in the last couple of games, and we'd love to eliminate that. And but we've also made some really good catches. So I think everybody needs to focus on what they need to do to be a complete player at their position, and take advantage of the opportunities when you get them.
We're in the middle with Taryn.
Hi, Coach. How have you seen the offense play in the red zone, and what exactly are they doing that's making them successful?
Well, I think the fact that we have balance and we can run the ball probably helps. We use tempo down there to help us get the other team off guard a little bit. It was obviously one of the things in the offseason that we wanted to do better on both sides of the ball, and I think we have made some improvements, but I think teams will make it more difficult for us to run, so we're going to have to be able to be effective in the way we throw the ball down there as well.
In the back with Cecil.
Coach, you were able to use J.K. in the long field goal situation. From what you've observed of him in practice, how far out would you be comfortable with his range? He
has a really strong leg. we usually define the yard line every week based on the wind conditions and that type of thing, but probably 35 to 38 yard line, something where the ball is there, whatever that makes it.
Come back over here with Mark in the front.
On Ronnie Clark's touchdown, we saw a lot of players get excited for him. Just what are you thinking when you see a guy who's worked hard, battled injuries, but sort of stuck to it, when you see him get some opportunity to shine like that?
Well, Ronnie Clark has been, to me, the consummate, ultimate, great story about any program and what college football should be all about. Here's a guy that has done everything that anyone could ever ask as a teammate and contributed to the team in whatever way he could, regardless of how much accolade that may have brought him. And I think every player on the team respects that and understands that, and I think every coach, including myself, respects that and understands that. So when a guy has an opportunity to score a touchdown, I think a lot of people were very, very excited for him. So excited that we really could have got a penalties because guys ran out on the field without their helmet on. So we caught a break on that one. But we were really, really happy to see Ronnie have a positive self-gratification for all his dedication, hard work, and commitment to the program and the team in every way that he's been able to contribute.
In the middle there with Michael.
You went back to see the hit on Deshaun Hand. What were your thoughts on it? Was it legal? And
Yeah, it was legal. It was just guy, cut him. If it's illegal, we should eliminate cut blocking. I've been an advocate of that for a long time, but you're allowed to cut. It was a legal block. So until somebody changes the rules, there's nothing illegal about it.
Come back over here to Reiner, right next to him.
Obviously, you guys have used some of the DBs to blitz. You've used the running backs as receivers. How much is your philosophy and coaching strategy based on putting the personnel and maximizing your best personnel and using them in different ways?
Well, I think that's a big part of it. You don't ever want to ask players to do things that they can't do. And you always want to try to feature guys in doing things that they're good at, they have confidence in, and can make plays doing. So I think that's especially true on offense, but also trying to get the matchups the right way on defense to be able to utilize some of that speed and ability, not only to cover but to do other things, is probably a multiple that can be an advantage for you on defense.
In the middle with Alex.
Just curious, how much has the offense kind of evolved and opened up a little bit in the last few weeks, and just how have you seen Jalen adjust to kind of some more opportunities to read and make those adjustments?
Well, I think Jalen has really developed very nicely through the course of the season. One of the things he did in this game, which we've been working with him on, is even when he scrambles to keep his eyes downfield, and actually did that on several occasions. And one of the balls, Robert Foster jumped up to catch and got pushed out of bounds. Another one, Ruggs dropped. But those are two occasions where he scrambled and kept his eyes downfield and found an open receiver and made a good throw. And I think that can be a tremendous compliment to, his running ability and his scrambling ability. But I think from a drop back standpoint, from a timing standpoint, we missed a few throws in the game, but at the same time, we're in the right place. We're making the reads. We're getting the ball out of our hand. And we also made some really good throws in the game. So we're excited about the progress that we've been able to make and the balance that it can create for us.
Go in the back with Joe.
Hey, Coach, you speak often about players not scoreboard watching, not buying into their own hype. And I'm sure during your career, you've had some teams that do a better job of that than others. Has there been a common thread or set of characteristics for the teams that have done a better job with that?
Well, I think the common thread is, we have a old saying, out of yourself and into the team. And look, everybody has individual goals and accolades and things that they want to accomplish and things that they want to do personally, and I think they should. But I think there's a fine line between, you know, what do I put first? Do I do what's best for the team and for my teammates, and know that it's important for me to be a complete player, whether I'm getting the ball, not getting the ball, getting an opportunity or not getting an opportunity, but I create an opportunity for somebody else, and that same person can create an opportunity for me when I get my chance to make a play. So I think players keeping that in perspective, look, you want to be able to catch passes, but you also have to manage your frustration if you're going to be able to catch those passes. So you got to be able to stay focused on what you got to do to get open in the process of things that you need to go through and accomplish in preparation, so that when you get in the game, you can play fast and be confident and have an opportunity to make plays. And, you know, that's what we try to emphasize with our players. And, you know, so far this year, I think the players have done a really good job of that.
In the middle with Chris Walsh.
You've always stressed getting off to a good start in games. Seems like this year's team is really good at it. Why is there something different about this team's makeup in that respect?
No, I think you always want to start fast and finish strong, but you also want to play for 60 minutes in the game. And I think, you know, a few times early on we started pretty well in the game, but we kind of didn't sort of sustain it in the game, and that's something that we've been emphasizing with this team and will continue to emphasize, so that we can play for 60 minutes. I mean, you know, you look at games, teams ahead 41-10, the team we're playing this week, and end up getting beat. So, you know, you got to keep playing. The way college football is right now, people are very prolific at scoring a lot of points. You got to keep scoring on offense. You got to keep moving the ball on offense. You can't relax. You can't not pay attention to detail, and you got to keep playing well on defense and keep making plays for 60 minutes in the game.
A couple more. We'll start here with Dwayne.
Just to follow up on that, Coach, when you have a loss like A&M did in the opener, and obviously it drew a lot of criticism, but they bounced back from that. What have you seen that you know, what does that say about them to get over a loss like that and be 4-1 at this point going
Well,
into
I
this
think
game?
sometimes when things like that happen, it can be a galvanizing thing for your team. You know, people respond better sometimes to bad things happen than they do when good things happen. So shouldn't be that way, but it sometimes is, and they certainly responded and played really, really well. They played really well in that game to get in the position that they were in. So they have continued to play well, run the ball, have great balance, do what their players can do, and they're very aggressive and physical on defense. So this is a really good team.
We'll finish up in the back with Neil.
Coach, you stopped by 10-year-old Aubrey Nicholas in pregame Saturday to give her a kiss. She has a brain tumor. You also met the family of little Cam, who died of cancer last Friday. What does it mean to you to offer encouragement to these families?
Well, we have, you know, something that's, I guess it's the compassion that you have. I mean, we always want to try to help children, families that need support in very difficult circumstances. We have a lot of these young people come out to practice and watch practice. I think our players have done a fabulous job of spending a little time, taking pictures, trying to add a little joy, something positive, you know, in terms of encouragement. And, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with all the young people who have tremendous adversity in their life, and especially when it comes to health issues that are real battles that hopefully they'll be able to overcome, and we like to support them every way we can.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.